Every generation is told a familiar story. This time will be different. Better education, smarter tools, more opportunity. The mistakes of the past have been learned, yet somehow the outcome keeps repeating. Rising debt, delayed independence, financial stress that feels personal but shows up everywhere. So pause and ask the deeper question. Why does every generation fall into the same debt trap? Not because people are reckless, not because they fail to learn, but because the trap is rebuilt each time. Debt is introduced as a solution, not a danger. Student loans promise a future. Credit cards promise flexibility. Mortgages promise stability. Debt is framed as progress, a bridge to a better life, and at first it works. Access feels empowering, doors open, life moves forward, but debt has a hidden feature. It pulls future income into the present. Tomorrow pays for today, and when that becomes normal, the future quietly shrinks. Wages rarely grow as fast as obligations. Payments lock in, choices narrow, flexibility disappears. This is where the cycle begins. Each generation enters adulthood with higher starting costs. Education costs more, housing costs more, healthcare costs more. Essentials inflate faster than income. Debt fills the gap, not as a luxury, but as survival. The system encourages it. Lenders profit from predictability, steady payments, long timelines, risk spread across millions. Governments support it because debt fuels growth. Spending today boosts numbers now. The cost appears later, always later, when pressure builds. More debt is offered as relief. Refinance, extend, consolidate. Stretch the timeline, ease the pain. But stretching does not remove weight, it distributes it over decades, across a lifetime. Debt also reshapes behavior. People choose safety over risk. Payments demand reliability. Jobs are kept not because they inspire, but because they pay. Creativity becomes expensive. Mobility feels dangerous. Freedom shrinks quietly, not by force, but by obligation. Every generation believes they are making rational choices, and they are, within the options presented. But those options are shaped, normalized, advertised. Success stories highlight outcomes, not trade-offs. Failure feels individual, never structural. Shame keeps the cycle intact. People blame themselves, work harder, borrow more, hope timing will save them. Meanwhile, money itself changes. Interest compounds relentlessly. Inflation erodes wages. Assets rise faster than labor. Debt grows heavier relative to income. The finish line moves. Retirement pushes further out. Relief is promised later. Always later. This is why debt feels endless. It is not just owed. It is embedded, built into education, housing, healthcare, even identity. Adulthood becomes defined by payments. Responsibility is measured by compliance. Missing a payment is treated as moral failure, not as a signal of strain. And here is the quiet truth. The system does not need everyone to escape debt. It needs debt to persist. Predictable cash flows stabilize institutions. Growth depends on leverage. Debt smooths cycles, absorbs shock, postpones correction. Every generation inherits the structure, not the lesson. Parents warn children to be careful, but cannot change the terrain. Schools teach budgeting, but not leverage. Discipline, but not design. The trap is subtle because it feels normal. Everyone is in it. Struggle feels shared. Questioning it feels unrealistic. Yet awareness shifts perspective. Debt stops looking like a personal flaw and starts looking like a policy outcome, an incentive structure, a timeline mismatch between wages and costs. This does not mean debt is evil or that responsibility does not matter. It means the pattern is larger than individuals. And repeating patterns are rarely accidental. Understanding this breaks the spell. You stop asking why you feel behind and start asking why the rules produce the same result generation after generation. Clarity does not erase obligation, but it removes shame. And shame is what keeps people quiet. Every generation falls into the same debt trap because the trap evolves with them, adjusted to new language, new tools, new promises. But the core stays the same. Borrow from the future, commit early, stay compliant, keep moving. This channel exists to slow the story down, to make the invisible visible, calmly, honestly, without panic. If this perspective helped you see the pattern more clearly, stay curious, and we will continue the story next time.